Hello, everyone, and welcome to All Four Downs, the NFL Picks Edition. I am your host, Hector V. As you can see, Frank C is joining us today. He is our one of our co-hosts of the HHW show, and he is the host of his own podcast, Speaking It Real. Thank you, Frank, for joining us. Ovi could not join us tonight. He has some family matters. Hope you have safe travels, and our thoughts and prayers go out to you. And hopefully, we'll see you next week. But Frank, let me tell you, and I got to be brutally honest. We just keep it real here. It's like the way you speak it real on your show.
Exactly.
I got whooped last week. Ovi he just manhandled me last week. I mean, I thought I had everything figured out. I thought I had it all down. 13 games. We had 6 teams on a bye, and man, I tanked it. I seriously did. I mean, Ovi went well. He went 9-4 last week. Kudos to him. I went 5-8. I was the second time this year I went under 500. Frank, it was just horrible. I don't know.
I don't even know how you let Obi do that to you, man.
I know it's this is my thing. College is his thing, and this is my thing. But yeah, you know what? That's why they play the game. You know what I'm saying? We could sit here and analyze everything, but you got to go out there and you got to play the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's a new week, fresh start, week 8. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna rebound. Ovi, you're listening. You hear this? I'm coming for you this week, buddy. Right now, he has a 1 game lead on me. His record is 63 and 60. Yeah, 63 and 43. I'm 62 and 44. He came back. He won 4 games last week over me. He took them all. That's fine. Clean sweep like they do in baseball. But it's time to bounce back now.
Oh,
So,
for sure. You got to bounce back. I'm gonna throw in some picks as well. What the heck?
all right. Yeah, why
Well,
not?
look, this is simple, man. This is simple. As I always do. When the cat's away, the mouse is gonna play. So Obi, you know what? Sorry for what you're going through. Hope everything goes good. But hey, we're gonna play today.
And play it is. Look, we had a Thursday night game. Normally this is not our normal time slot for doing this, but look, we had a Thursday night game, Buffalo Buccaneers. Look, true and true, no sugarcoating. Ovi and I both picked Buffalo in this game. Looking at this game, okay, it was pretty to me simple mathematics here. As long as Buffalo can rush for more than 100 yards, they will win. And combined together, they had 115 yards rushing altogether in that game. So they were able to execute on the run game. And their defense, they shut down the run game because the Buccaneers only averaged going into this game about 59 yards rushing, you know, in their losses to Detroit and Atlanta. In this game, they could not do anything against Buffalo on the ground. They only rushed for 78 yards, I believe. And to me, that was the formula. Buffalo is undefeated at home. If this was in Tampa Bay, it might have been a different story. But Buffalo struggled going into this game, losing 2 out of the last 3 games. They should have lost 3 in a row. They should have lost to the Giants that Sunday night game. But it is what it is. Buffalo did pick up the 6-point victory against Tampa Bay. So
I mean, look, man. Whenever your punter is one of the stars of your team for the game, guess what?
yeah,
It's not a good thing, man. When you look at Martin, he pinned Buffalo, I think, about 3 times within inside the 8 yard line. So when your punter's a star, that doesn't necessarily mean you're doing that well.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I had Buffalo winning this game anyways, and I didn't think that Tampa was going to do too much on them anyways.
yeah.
You know,
So
so
we got
go
that
ahead.
game out the way. Look, we're going into the Sunday game slates here. We're talking Houston Texans against the winless Panthers. This team right here, the Panthers, they are fresh, they're young. I see future, you know, bright for this team in the coming years. But this year, I'm sorry. Look, it's good to see. It's going to be good to see Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud go at it in this game. 2 of the top picks in the draft. Okay, but look, are we really going to get anything really ex- extravagant out of this game? I mean,
Ah,
these 2 quarterbacks has been sacked so many times. Which quarterback is going to avoid the sacks and turnovers the least in this game? I'm pulling for Houston in this game. I know Ovi got Houston also. Could this be an upset alert? It's a possibility, but
I'm going with the upset alert. I
hey,
think the Panthers are going to put it off just for the simple fact that Panthers are coming off a bye, so they're pretty rested. You know what? And Bryce Young, he's showing positivity. So I will take the Panthers on this one.
Yeah, I can't say that you're thinking crazy here because there's a possibility. So kudos to that right there. Why not?
So let's go on with our next game, which would be Rams and the Cowboys. Um, you want to go with that one?
Look, the
Rams.
the Cowboys had a bye week. They're coming off a bye week. Okay, they've been dominating at home so far this year, and I can see why they're the big favorites over the Rams in this game. I think Stafford has taken a heap load of sacks against Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. Three good teams there, and I think Dallas's defense is still one of the elite defenses in the NFL right now. They're going to bring that pressure to him. And so I got the Cowboys winning this game. OV2 also got the Cowboys winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Cowboys off this. I mean, the Cowboys are not the Cowboys of last year, or the year before, and I think they're playing good football,
Yeah.
and I think that they will take it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. So Vikings and the Packers. I don't even know what to think about these two teams. I think right now, as we speak, this game might be a pick 'em. I believe I could be wrong, but if there is a spread in this game, it's not going to be a big one between these two teams. These two teams have not, to me, shown me anything, despite the fact that the Vikings showed dominance against the 49ers this past week. But look, Green Bay has only scored, I think, 6 points in the first half in the last four games. Okay. And with Minnesota coming off a short week, I think is going to help them because they still have that momentum coming off that 49er victory. Okay. So I am going with the Vikings in this game to take it in Green Bay. I believe also Ovi did pick Minnesota also.
Oh, I'm going to go against you guys again. I'm going to take the Packers because I think the fact that the Vikings have a short week, sometimes it does good, but sometimes it does not do good either because you're still tired, you're not well rested. So I think the Packers will hopefully prevail on this one.
Okay, we'll have to see. I mean, it is a
They're home.
division. Yeah, it's not the same without what it used to be back in the day when these two teams had elite quarterbacks and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
sleepy time for these two teams right now. Oh, this one was a tough one for me. This was one of my games that I was telling you about that I was having a hard time with.
Mhm.
Okay, these two teams are struggling. Indianapolis, they blew that game last week. Turnovers, okay, penalties. I mean, last week, penalty after penalty after penalty just gave Cleveland like 500 chances in the last couple of seconds to win that game. Okay. And Ovi called me crazy. I picked the Saints to win that NFC South. And obviously, the being 3-4, uh, it's not going so well. Um, believe it or not, this is the Saints' third consecutive game against an AFC South team, which is crazy. I was leaning towards the Saints here because, hey, why would I go up against a team? Why would I go against a team that I'm picking to win the division? But I think after what Indianapolis showed me last week, I think if they just clean up their act on the penalties, they're going to get this win at home. It's going to be a close game. So I'm taking the Colts in this game. Surprisingly, Ovi is picking the Saints in this game.
Ovi doesn't. Ovi's just nuts on that pick. I mean,
I
I I have to tell you, I think just like you do, if the Colts are able to clean up their mistakes, because that's what it was. When you make mistakes, if they're able to clean it up and play a clean game, they should be able to beat the Saints.
I'm
I mean,
hoping so. I'm hoping
I
so
have the
because
Colts.
because the Colts, they rank in the top 10 in passing and rushing, but that defense for the Saints also in their passing and rushing also rank in the top 10. So I think that's going to be the matchup. If New Orleans, I'm sorry, if Indianapolis can establish some kind of offense in this game and get Taylor going, Jonathan Taylor, this could be a good day for the Colts and rebound from last week's disappointment.
Definitely. So I'm gonna s- I'm gonna take the lead on this one here because we got my Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots. You know what?
Uh,
For the most part of my life as a football fan, I don't care what game it is. I hate the Patriots. I always wanted them to lose, especially when they had number 12. In this case, there's it's an easy victory. Hopefully for the Dolphins. I will say this: Patriots did come off a really good game with Buffalo last week. So the Dolphins do got to be careful. But I'm going to tell you that I'm going to take the Dolphins over the Patriots this time around for sure and always. I don't care if the Dolphins are 0-8 and Patriots could be and the Patriots could be undefeated. I'm going to take the Dolphins. But I got Dolphins all the way on this one.
the only thing that bothers me about the Dolphins and their record is all their victories came at teams against teams that are below 500 who have no shot of making the playoffs. So it's not really showing me what the Dolphins are really truly all about. Okay. I mean, last week we seen that when they lost to Philadelphia. Okay. But in this game, we're talking about this game. Tua Tagovailoa has a passer rating of of 132 at home. I think that's going to be perfect enough to get them through this game and beat the New England Patriots. So Ovi and I are both picking the Miami Dolphins.
Oh my goodness. Ovi picked the Dolphins. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Wow. Well,
Oh,
now we're gonna go to the Battle of New York.
well, you talk about shock. That leads us into this game right here. The Battle of New York, New York Jets, New York Giants. I would try to be funny and say, well, New York is going to win, but in football, there are ties. So,
Yeah.
this is crazy because second straight home game for the Giants. You would think that hopefully they can rebound and start doing something offensively. But gosh, the Giants are only averaging 11 points in the last 5 games. 11, they're averaging 11 points in the last 5 games. They cannot get no offense going to start anything going for them. Scoring 2 touchdowns in the first half, finally, they did something in the first half. But second half, they didn't do anything against a Washington Commander team that was just literally just all over the place themselves. This game should have been a blowout last week, but it wasn't. I'm not convinced that my Giants can do anything. I think the Jets can pull out this victory. I think that they have the better quarterback than we do. I mean, Tyrod Taylor is doing enough to keep himself out of trouble from being sacked so many times, like Daniel Jones has. But until I see some kind of offensive firepower underneath that Giants offense, I can't trust this team to try to get another victory. That last week's victory to me was a fluke. I'm happy that they won, but I'm picking the Jets in this one. I think that Zach Wilson's going to get it done, and Ovi and I are going against our Giants. We're picking the Jets in this one.
Well, look at this turn of events. I got the Giants. All
Okay,
right. And now what happens? When you look at the Giants, you look at their defense in the past couple weeks, they've only allowed 21 points. All right. So I think the Giants are gonna find a way to try to turn this around and they're gonna become the true kings of New York. Plus, at the end of the day, they're playing the Jets and they are the
it's
Dolphins AFC rivals.
well,
So
look.
gotta go against them.
It is an in-state rival between these two teams. They don't play each other every year, but it is somewhat
Mhm.
bragging rights, until the next time they meet. And I would love to see it, but I just don't have that confidence that they can actually do it. Their defense is elite. They showed it last week. They
Mhm.
showed it the week prior, but their offense is not clicking on every cylinder to do it. Until I see something different, I'm going with the Jets.
Well, stick with your Jets.
Mm.
I'm gonna stick with the Giants on this one. Have a good
And
one there, right?
well, you could be the one that says I told you so come Monday.
I will. I will remember that.
I will. I'll
If I
hold you
gotta
to
come back, if I gotta come back on this show next week, I'm gonna be like, I freaking told you so.
that. Hey,
Let's see how it goes. So we got the Jags and the Steelers.
gosh, this was another game, Frank, that I had a really, really tough time with. I mean, I like the way both teams are playing this year. I mean, you can see for themselves what their record is showing. Mike Tomlin is again just keeping his team above 500. He's been doing that since he's been a head coach over 14 seasons ago. But I'm liking the way the Jaguars are playing football. Okay. And okay, the Steelers are 2-1 at home, but the Jags are undefeated on the road this year. Something got to give here. Okay. I think if Trevor Lawrence gets enough support offensively, I think they can win a shootout here against the Steelers. I am going with the Jaguars on this one, but Ovi sees something in Pittsburgh that he says they are going to win. So he's got the Steelers. I got the Jags.
I look, man, you got both Jags and Pittsburgh have been playing great football. All right. As of right now, the Jaguars in the month of October have been undefeated. All right, so they got a good push going for them, and I think I don't think Pittsburgh hasn't doesn't really have it, you know. But so I'm taking the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are necessarily going to take it. I hope we put Ovi to the ground.
Hopefully, we'll see. I mean, they are in Pittsburgh, so they're gonna have the terrible towels flying everywhere. I have one here at the house because my wife's
No,
a Steelers fan, so
I'm sorry. I'm
I got
sorry.
I got to see that black and yellow. We wave down.
Oh no. So next we got the Falcons and the Titans.
This game is very intriguing because to me, I'm confused by the Atlanta Falcons. I can't seem to understand them. Ovi has the Falcons winning the division. I debated him on that. I thought he was kind of crazy, but right now it seems like he has more of a legit argument than I do with the Saints. But yeah, to me, for some reason, the Falcons are not showing me nothing on the road. They seem to go to Jacksonville, they go to Detroit, they just get wiped all over the place. So the question is, can they go into Tennessee and beat a team that has probably arguably one of the best running backs in the league? Tennessee, on the other hand, they're having their issues trying to get things going themselves. So I was kind of waving myself back and forward here, but I am going to lean myself with the Atlanta Falcons on this game. I think they can get it done. But on the passing game, on the running side of things, I think they can try to contain Derrick Henry just enough to get Atlanta over that hump on the road and win this game. And if they don't win, I'm not picking the Falcons again when they're on the road this year again.
I'm going to take the Titans on this one. I think the Titans could pull it off the Falcons. I have no faith in the Falcons. Period. Are they a decent team? Yeah, they're a good team. I just don't don't like the Falcons. So I'm just going with Tennessee. And who was it Obi picked on this one?
Oh, he picked Atlanta because that is his team to win the South. So he's got Atlanta also.
Oh gosh, Obi. You know what? I really hope you guys are wrong, so I can come back next week too.
Oh my God.
So we got the Eagles against the Commanders. I mean, look, right off rip for me, very simple pick. It's going to be the Eagles. The Eagles are freaking hot. I I don't see the Commanders matching up with the Eagles at all. At all. For me, it's the Eagles on this one.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles have beat them the last two times. Okay, being the most recent one back in October 1st when they beat them 34-31 in overtime, which I think Washington had a chance to win that game in regulation, chose to go for the extra point, go to overtime, and then they lost it there. But then again, we're talking about a Washington team that's just with Sam Howell at quarterback. We just don't know what you're getting week after week. With Jalen Hurt, we know what we're getting. He's winning the close games. He's winning the blowout games. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're under 500 like the Patriots or over 500 like the Dolphins. The Eagles are showing that they are still the team to beat in the NFC. I got the Eagles winning this game.
I'm sure Obi probably has the Eagles too on that one, huh?
Yes, he also picked the Eagles. Yes.
All right. That's a good pick. I think we all agree. So we got the Browns against the Seahawks.
Look, I'm
Mm.
going to be straight up. I like the Seahawks. I like them at home. I like their defense. Okay. I Deshaun Watson, from what I understand, is not going to be playing. I think PJ Walker is going to be starting. He's going into a hostile environment in Seattle with the 12th man there. Um, can they win this game? Yeah, I think the Browns can go out there and try to win this game, but I just feel like Seattle is going to turn it up a notch here on defense and on offense. I don't see Geno Smith going to be able to throw the ball against Cleveland because Cleveland has, I think, like the number one pass defense in the league. But if they go ahead and run the ball, shove that ball down their throat, if they as the best of the possibility, then I see Seattle winning a close nail biter, maybe a field goal game. But give me the Seahawks. Ovi says, "Give me the Seahawks." We got Seahawks here.
I gotta agree. I think the Seahawks are gonna do it. I think the Browns without Watson are just not that they're horrible, but I think they're a totally different team without Watson, and I don't think they could do it. I mean, I know they pulled off the win last week, but it wasn't passing the ball.
Yeah,
So I think I also think the Seahawks.
this
So
game, man, I don't even know what to say, but I feel I my condolences to the Cardinals. Seriously, look, the Ravens have allowed their defense have allowed 17 or less points in the last 4 games. They are 3-1 in those games because Pittsburgh is the only one that beat them in that game. Arizona's lost 4 straight games, dude, and they can't even score 20 points. How are they going to find any kind of possibility to even score against this Raven team who went out last week at home and destroyed those Detroit Lions? Lamar Jackson, I mean, he's completed like 70% or better in his passing game. So give me the Ravens. I don't want to even kind of keep elaborating on this. Ravens all the way.
yeah,
Ovi, Raven.
I I'm going with you too. I'm taking the Ravens also. I mean, pretty much you and I have the same notes on this. So you know what? I was going to discuss the same stuff you were. So you beat me to the punch. So let's go Ravens.
All right. Let's go Chiefs. I mean, this has almost seemed like a mirror image of we what we've seen with the Ravens and the Cardinals here. Okay, yeah, I think the Chiefs barely won that last game against the Broncos. Well, my thing is when you're playing a division rival twice a year, every single year, you're gonna get a good game sooner or later, no matter how what your record says. I don't care. But as long as you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Travis Kelsey, and Taylor Swift, you got the trio there in Kansas City. I take the Chiefs to go to Denver and win this game. To me, I don't think I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I'm sorry, but I
I
just had to
mean,
throw it in there.
look, the fact that the Broncos beat Green Bay Packers for their first victory at home, right, doesn't mean crap. Because I'm sorry, but and I'm going to take it back a notch because this
Hmm.
is the hostile takeover. When when the Broncos faced the Dolphins, all right, that was a disastrous game for the Broncos. And I'm sorry, you cannot be that bad of a team, okay? But the Broncos are. They're not a good team, and their record says it. And I don't see them doing anything against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up a crazy blowout again,
yeah,
or a crazy blowout for the Broncos. So I take the Chiefs on this one too.
yeah. That's okay.
This one's tough.
This one is tough. I'm gonna be honest. This was another one. Um, if San Francisco was completely healthy, I would say this is going to be a waste of our time talking about this. But because of the fact that they are banged up, Purdy's on, you
He's
know,
questionable.
concussion protocol right now. It kind of questions, is this 49er team for real? When they were 5-0, yeah, I think we were always saying that this is the team to beat. They're going to the Super Bowl, but now they lost 2 in a row to Cleveland and to Minnesota, and now we're talking about, can they even find a way of winning this game against the Bengals? But here's the thing. I'm going with the Niners still in this game. I'm giving them another chance because Cincinnati do not have a running game. I think even as banged up as the 49ers are right now, I think their defense can shut down that running game, forcing Joe Burrow to throw this ball. Okay. And if they can find a way of putting pressure on him, then we can try to get San Francisco on offense to try to get some kind of offense going to where they can squeak out this victory. I'm picking the 49ers at home in the condition that they are. Ovi sees something different. He's picking the Bengals in this game. So let's get it going on.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I originally was going to pick the Bengals because I'm saying, man, without Brock Purdy, the Niners won't be able to do much. All right. But after just realizing that the Niners are on a 2 game slide
Mm-hmm.
on a losing streak, I don't think it's going to become 3 games down in a row. I mean, yeah, Purdy's down. You know, could he play? Maybe. But they got McCaffrey. He could run the heck of the ball. So let's see how that goes. And I got the Niners. You got the Niners. Ovi has the Bengals. Ovi, you're gonna be wrong. So this brings us into our Sunday night matchup, our Sunday night trash game, our Sunday night bathroom break game. I don't know. But I mean, you got two teams that are struggling, struggling, struggling.
I think unless you're a fan of either of these two teams, I think everybody will be tuned into the World Series because this game is not even worth watching. I mean, I don't see why, as early as it is, they could have flexed this game somehow. I think they do it all the time. Why couldn't they just do it now? And this is not even worth watching here. I got the Chargers. Ovi got the Bears. I mean, what? Both these teams are horrible. Both these teams suck. Honestly, I mean, the Chargers almost ranked dead last in everything. You know, but the Bears can't seem to muster anything themselves. So, I mean, I don't see a high scoring game. I see maybe a close game, but a low scoring game. So I'm taking the home team on this one. Give me the Chargers.
You know, I'm going to take the Bears, and
The Bears.
simply because as what's his name? Yeah, Justin Fields is not playing. I think he hasn't lived up to the hype, and I think that his backup is gonna bring it. The backup has something to play for. Because if he outshines Justin Fields, guess what? He might get that starting role because Justin Fields hasn't done crap.
Look, Ovi got lucky last week by picking the Bears over the Vegas Raiders. He's not going to get lucky again with the Bears a second week in a row beating an AFC West team. No, that's not going to happen. Like Stone Cold would say.
Well, we'll find out on Monday. We'll find out Sunday night or Monday morning, depending if you still have to watch this game or not. So this leads us into Monday night football. Got the Raiders that are 3-4 against the Lions, which are red hot.
Well, yeah, the Lions are kind of hot until they ran into a buzzsaw last week against those Ravens. So,
It happens.
no, it
You know,
does.
it,
I mean, things happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why they play the game, right? So, you wasn't gonna get lucky every day of the week. So, but I just feel like the Lions are more structurally put together here, offensively and defensively. So, I'm taking the Lions over this. Ovi got the Lions in this Monday night game. The Raiders, this is just a game that I don't think they're gonna have anything well put together in this.
yeah, I don't think the Raiders are going to do too much against the Lions. I mean, I got the Lions also. So
Yeah, the
it
Lions
is
are
what it is.
their offense and defense, their running game, their passing game is it's going to be a little too much for the Raiders to handle all night long. So, but look, there we have it. We got 16 games. Nobody got a bye week this week. So, Ovi and I got 4 differences. Hopefully, I could try to bounce back and catch up to them. It's still a lot of football left, and It's a very unpredictable season. When you think that you got a team figured out because they won this particular game, they turn around and just flop this the following week. Or you think this team can't win on the road, but then they wind up doing something that they weren't supposed to do. And for the most part, some of the teams that we've picked preseason to win their respective divisions are doing what they're supposed to do. Some teams are just a kind of a surprise to us. So, yeah, look, we're in week 8. We're up pretty much, you could say, at the halfway point. We could say that again next week at week 9. So, Frank, I appreciate you coming on and doing this with me on a Friday night. I know we could be doing other things like watching the World Series or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a big thing over here in Texas. So, go
Well,
Rangers.
yeah, of course, because once again, Texas has another team in the World Series. So
But
go
look,
figure.
yeah. But again, I appreciate you coming on and helping me out with this, and doing this with me. Ovi, we hope to see you back next week. So, yeah, thank you for
Hey,
tuning in.
hey, look, right quick.
Yeah,
I'm glad to come on this show today. I'm super happy when Ovi's not here because then he can't kick me off the show for
there you
XYZ
go.
reasons.
There you
You
go.
know, and I love filling in for Ovi and just talking smack. It doesn't matter where we do it, how we do it. Okay, it gives me a chance to come on and hijack the show for a little while and just talk more smack and more smack and more smack and more smack. But hey, look, it's been great to be on. I do want to come back next week just to talk shit with Ovi. All right, and make sure that when he loses his picks, all right, I'm just gonna tell him, "Hey, you lost." But hey, look, All Four Downs is brought to you by Clovercrest Media. And, tune in, subscribe, HHW Show, it pops.
Hit that like button. Yes.
And we'll catch you next week.
Yes. Thank you for watching.